Hi, everyone. Welcome to Voice of Crypto. This is Adam, and we're starting off with our podcast series. Today we have with us Mr. Poorna. He's crypto's Win Diesel. He's the founder of Bitcoin Cafe, also now known as Cafe. He's also an angel investor in a lot of startups, and he's also a crypto, Web3, and blockchain enthusiast.
Thank you, Adams. Very happy to be here, and thanks for Voice of Crypto for considering me.
We're happy to have you with us. So we have a lot of questions, but let's start off with how you got into the space, how you got into crypto and like the blockchain space. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
So you'll have to be very impatient as a person. You'll have to be very greedy for knowledge. So always looking for opportunities. If you settle down, no matter what, whether you're at 20s or 30s or 40s, and being in a comfortable place, you will not see there are opportunities around you. So Web3 is one of them. One of the opportunities that I came across, and I read books, and then I always mention this. You know, I read a book from Tony Robbins which is I think Money Mastery, and where he clearly mentioned that every individual gets a chance to create wealth through, and that is through adopting disruptive technology.
Right.
Of course, there will be challenges, and you cannot expect one fine day whole society is ready to accept this change. There will be a lot of hesitation, regulations, problems, developments, losses, and it's a big journey actually. Failures, but it's part of the game actually. When something new, something disruptive, it has to be there like that. This is how it plays out. And then one of my friend told me about Bitcoin, and then I started finding out details on net, as we always do, Google and all. But there was not much motivating or exciting, but I still, let's play a small game. I lost a lot of Bitcoin in those days because the exchanges were not perfect, and how to store them. You made mistakes. There are always regrets with Web3 people who joined at a very early age, or at the early stage. So this was there, and then for me, I don't sit on the shore and thinking of the waves to come towards me. So I go towards deep diving in. So that's how I went for a blockchain conference in Singapore. Then I happened to meet Mr. Tone Ways, who is the vice president of JP Morgan. And then he quit his job, probably, I don't know. When he started actually promoting full-time Bitcoin everywhere. So in those days, that conference was not so successful. Not many people turned around. So I was lucky in that case. So I happened to spend some good time with him, and then he explained me about Bitcoin, and then that's how my journey started. Then I was totally got hooked. Then I ordered some books. So that books helped me. Then gradually, there were, as 2018, it was touched its all-time high in those days. So there were datas coming out, there were informations, YouTube channels. So there was flood of information everywhere. But there were a lot of fake information as well.
So it was like a sort of a slow climb, trying to
yeah.
Yeah.
So I made friends. If there are friends who can teach me something, I hang on to them. I need friends who can teach me, bring value to my life. So I have more friends who are half my age. I hang around with them, and then they teach me most of the things. So and it's very it's you get join those community and go to those events, conferences, attend those conferences. It's very, very interesting. Your life becomes very interesting when you learn something new every day. And that is Web3. That can happen only through Web3.
And the community was just really welcoming in that sense. Like, it was a slow climb, but everybody manages to help.
Absolutely. And I have seen a big difference. This kind of society we truly want, actually. Where there is trust. If you go to a true Web3 enthusiast and ask him for help or support, he'll always be there for you. Unlike Web2 or traditional businesses. In traditional business, everybody wants to be, closed-minded and not to share secrets. Why should I empower them? Why should I disclose my cards? So, and whereas Web3, you're more open. That's what we want.
Yeah, it's like a whole decentralized network. Everyone's open. Everybody's just excited for this new thing. And it's just like a whole thing. Yeah. You want to welcome more and more people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have seen when we started our journey, there was nobody there to speak about Web3. People were scared about talking about Bitcoin. And even now, a certain a percentage of the society want to stay away from you. This happens. And now there are media coverage everywhere. There are governments trying to regulate it, governments trying to bring it, CBDC, and people know about cryptos and blockchain, and yeah, but they don't want to learn, they don't want to understand.
It's a slow process. I'm sure it's going to be coming in soon.
Yes.
Like it'll be like finally accepted.
Yeah.
So with that, let's get into like a bit more of the other questions we got going on. So I saw your tweet earlier. You mentioned about the economic turmoil. What caused this economic turmoil? I want to ask you that. And like how? How does Web 3.0? How does that solve it?
See, I worked very hard in my life, but I lost more than I could afford to. And I lost 3 times. I was finished. Of course, I had that zeal. I'm a hardworking, honest. I've never cheated anyone. But still I lost. I realized there are things which are beyond your control. And you cannot control those things, and you'll have to be very calculative now. And you were not finding any answers. Even now, after the COVID, what has happened, this turmoil, instant Fed rate hikes. Why is it? Because they have injected easy money without any principled window guidance. There was no principle, no standards, no discipline. And they front, what would you say, the bankers or whatever it may be, they handed over this easy money to people who cannot produce anything into the hands of unproductive hands. And that has shown us, big hikes, big everything, big growths. And now we are again coming back to inflation. Everything got disturbed, supplies got disturbed, supply chain got disturbed. And now we are again paying the pain, feeling the pain of it. So we need some standards, no? So it has to be either you go back to gold standard or adopt something which is new. And that is through technology. That's Bitcoin standard.
Yeah, because it's up and coming, and it's everything like it's for the people, by the people, right?
Yes. And this value should not be, held by only few people, value creation. It should be between you and me. It should be people, the society, the countries.
Right. So now this actually leads me to another question that I did want to ask you. So like, in terms of like the changes, we're seeing like a lot of adoption of Web 3.0, but what kind of changes do you think we can see with that adoption? How do we progress? How does that go on?
I don't know what kind of changes we are going to see, but Web3 has got, blockchain itself has got a lot of potential. Now, all the information, data, I'll tell you in a very deep, structured manner, deep diving into it. So all the information, data that is available now, it's all scattered, manipulated, tampered, can't be trusted, and there is always, you don't trust each other. It shows the societies, the actions, the policies, everything shows that there's lack of trust everywhere. With blockchain, every transaction, every value, every exchange can be instantly settled then on real time. So I'll explain you how. So value can be created by, exchange of goods, services, and it could be exchange of content, photographs, or whatever it may be. And that value could be, you could be a fan of a cricketer, and any collection from those cricketers could be a value for you. For me, it could not be. But for me, giving back to the society could be a value, whatever it may be. So, and this value, when we transact, and that can be placed on blockchain, and it can be instant, and it can be recorded, and it cannot be tampered, it cannot be manipulated, and it stays there for long. So it's authenticated in a way. So now when it comes to Web 2, now what happens is every company has got, for every transactions, we have settlement layers. Yeah, do you agree? Settlement in the sense banks. If you transfer money from one country to another, so it goes through a lot of banks, and then this for those transactions, it takes a lot of time, and those transactions, to settle those transactions, you have a lot of team, a lot of fancy building, big buildings, big infrastructure. use use people to do it, and then and even after that settlements, sometimes things can be manipulated, or you don't know what's behind the scene, or which bank has in what stage. Even
Because
now,
you,
that's yeah,
yeah.
because it's one-sided. It's so you cannot see, you cannot enter into it. It's controlled, it's centralized. Now when it comes to even corporates, so there are departments, in a company, like when you buy something, or marketing department, or all these departments, and they have people for every transaction. They are uh, managing those ledgers and everything, and then they settle between them, and then departments to department, there is again settlements going on. And after you prepare everything, then you need an auditor to do this, whether you're right or wrong. When you go to the auditor, then you go to the government. When you submit, still they doubt on you. Am I right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yes. So when everything is on the blockchain, that is, every transaction can be instantly recorded, which cannot be tampered. It's real time. You don't need to wait to settle anything. You need less people. That will reduce the cost. Yeah. Call it.
And like, also, I completely agree with you in that sense, because like it also like reduces like, so there's no third party involved. There's no nothing. Like you
Yes.
find it's completely so decentralized that it's just between you and that person, and you just, there's like no extra money cut. It's just the money that you send in, and that's it. That's what I find kind of amazing about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is going to be a lot of changes in that manner, and gradually, this is technology. You cannot stop technology. End of the day, it has to come. It may take some time, but it will be there. I'm very
And
confident.
and in terms of that adoption of it, like how do you think that would affect something in terms of, like, let's say job losses, just something like that?
See, with every advancement of technology, can you hire somebody who cannot operate a smartphone now?
No,
No.
definitely not.
Even the Zomato delivery boy, yeah, has got a smartphone. So with time, update yourselves, upskill yourself, educate yourself.
Because
So
like it's everybody, it's always going to be a learning curve with new
yeah,
technology. People need to adapt.
yes, and there will be new job opportunities. Look at new job opportunities. Don't stick to the what you have been doing for years and years. You think your life should be set.
To all the listeners, like, this is always an opportunity to probably carve out your niche. You always innovate, always think outside the box. This is definitely something to like carve out a niche, do something that you want to do, and stuff like that,
Yes.
right?
See, fun. You have one life. We all have one life, and the best thing is we are going through this change, and we are part of it. Right? So participate, learn, educate yourself. It will be fun.
In that way, we're all really lucky to see, almost like to witness the birth of this. Like, in a way, like we get to see the creation of all of this in our own lifetime, and
Yes.
that's what I think is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
So I do want to double back into what we were saying about economic inequality a little while earlier. So we've been struggling with that, right? With economic inequality. So how can this be tackled with Web3? I wanted to get a bit more into that deep dive of that with you.
See, I don't say that Web3 will solve all the problems, or everything in the society can be uh, corrected or rectified. But at the same time, what we have been seeing is we have leaders, and the retailers mostly are the poorest informed people when it comes to policies or implementations or anything like that, right? Or distribution of wealth, whatever.
Right.
And the richest and the closest to the policymakers are the well-informed ones, the wealthier ones. So this disparity is always there. This difference of inequality of wealth is always there, because they know everything in and out. We don't. We truly don't. There is a policy coming up, and then there is a project coming up. You invest thinking that will give you some good return, because it's been by a government project or whatever it may be. And all of a sudden, a few days before that, you see that those areas or those lands are already taken, bought by the politicians or the people close to them, and then they have taken all the benefits that can that they can reap out of it.
Mhm. So,
Right? This is how it
mhm,
happens. Yeah.
mhm,
And we are always left behind. We are always left behind. All of a
right.
sudden, even then, all this happened. I have been through these kind of situations. You
Mhm,
put your money and then the policy changes,
mhm,
frequent policy changes. So, so what is this all about? Yeah.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
very, it's concentration of what do you say, wealth and power by some of the conglomerates,
Mhm,
which I think in Web3, we all will create value. It's through cryptocurrencies or
mhm,
tokens or coins. You give me, if it's value for
mhm,
you, you take it, whether it's NFT. If you had it, it has got value, we'll exchange.
mhm,
It's peer to peer. It's between you and me.
mhm.
Why? We had barter system earlier. Why not now?
Mm. It's this is like almost like a new thing and like a sort of like
Yeah. And
a callback into like what used to be like the norm,
yes,
right?
yes. If you go back to the history of money, you will understand
Mm.
how this money evolved and how it got.
Mm. Like
Yeah.
go back to the Aztec
Yeah.
civilization times, and
Yeah.
they used to
Go
like
back to a little bit of history. Yeah.
yeah, and everything used to be always like traded in. Always everything used to be like a little bit of like you said, a barter system. Trade in like let's say maybe a fish or like maybe let's say some couple of spices, right?
Yeah. Instead of that, we can have digital tokens or coins.
Instead of fish and spices,
So
we got coins.
yeah. So and also, with the so this is one thing, and now everything it's all by coded. It doesn't
Mm.
mean that. Of course, I lost money in Luna as well. I invested in Luna, but they are all experiments, and
Mm.
some because they didn't had any track records to follow, and they might have failed. It's failed. It's okay. I had a small bet. It's gone. It's finished. I'm not worried about that. So
But it's
in
always
it,
important to like practice like a sort
yeah,
of like
and
a
and
safe
and this
mindset of investment.
yeah, open mindset, and this industry will evolve. And I think next bull run or next market when the
Mhm,
true adoption will come.
mhm,
This is one thing, and the second thing is we will see much more adoption in DeFi as well,
mhm.
where the codes decentralized DeFi system will dominate a lot.
Oh, hold on. Actually, since you mentioned DeFi, I do want to actually ask. So earlier institutions, like they were the big players in traditional finance or centralized finance, but like we see in like DeFi or as we call decentralized finance retailers, they can take a lead. How did this shift happen? Do you think you could elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, they can take a lead, but they'll have to come out of that mindset of centralized
Mm-hmm.
answers. So there's two things they want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are looking for centralized answers
Mm-hmm.
for a decentralized industry,
Cool.
and then they want it to be controlled, and then they want you to be transparent, but they don't want to be transparent. So they have to come out of this mindset first.
Mm-hmm.
So one day or the other, they will be compelled.
Hmm. Now that you bring up transparency, I do want to ask something in terms of data collection, right? So, do you think that data collection and in terms of like Web 3.0 or what we see in the metaverse, how will that change? Like the way we used to look at data, will that change in Web 3.0 or in terms of the metaverse or anything that we see coming forth?
Absolutely, I think now you will be the control. You will have the control about uh, on your own data, and you
Hmm.
will decide how much to share, with whom you have to share. You can be anonymous, you can be pseudo anonymous while going to a metaverse or anywhere. So that's in a way, your if it's not that, which is very wrong. I don't know how things will shape up in the future because there are always bad players
Hmm.
everywhere. But I think the controlling of your own data is a big thing,
Hmm.
which we
Privacy
truly.
is a big must.
Privacy is a big thing, and we need it. We need it.
Hmm.
We would, whether you're eligible or not, or whether your how is your reputation. So
Hmm.
so far we have been going with ledger of, what do you call it, double entry ledger system.
Hmm.
So now we are going into triple entry ledger system,
Hmm.
which is also the reputation on Web3 will be there. So
Because
it's so interesting if you the if you go if I imagine how it's going to be, and I still don't know the answers yet, but there are possibilities with this technology.
hmm. Because in the years of me dealing with tech, there are like two main things I always love to follow. A being security and B being privacy. So
Privacy. Yeah.
yeah, because
Security.
like privacy in that way is like a big sort of equality type of thing, right? Everybody gets an opportunity to like start off fresh. Everybody gets that opportunity to just like start off on a level playing field, and that's something that I kind of want to see more. And if like that happens in Web3, and if anybody's and like for all the listeners listening here, to me that is an amazing and big thing for us to go into, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a whole new
I
world.
agree. Yeah.
So in terms of that, so how will regulations change with the growth of Web3? How will that kind of impact us?
I don't know how the regulations will come, but in India, for sure, I think there should be regulations that will come for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But whole world is going through, very different kind of shift with the economy, de-dollarization, and energy crisis. So I think in India, probably when uh, they come up with the CBDCs, then probably they'll start promoting cryptocurrencies or buying cryptocurrencies.
Because the way how I see it, right? We have some countries that completely accept Web3, or well, maybe not. I don't know about that too much, but I do know about cryptocurrency. So like, there's like UAE, where Dubai has like almost like I believe like vending machines or something.
Yes, Dubai is extremely
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
It's
and then there are
amazing.
other
I
countries like
wish.
Singapore. There's like also other countries that are so fast in accepting it.
And
It's
also, I think small countries will also start take the first leap
Mhm.
in adopting and regulating.
Because
So we
this
have
might.
already seen El Salvador, Madeira,
Yes, yes, Malta as well.
Malta as well. There are a lot of countries that they will.
I believe it's like the smallest countries that will make the biggest change.
There are I think 15 countries which are where they don't have their own native currency.
Mm,
Probably they'll be the one taking the leap or
I
adoption.
believe I believe the best one in that case might be El Salvador.
El Salvador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I kind of want to bring this to a close with a final question to you. So in this, we've talked a lot about Web3. We've talked about the potential. We've talked about how it's a big thing. We've talked about how we think it's something to look forward to. Now I want to bring the topic of leadership into this, right? Is there a need for new leadership in Web3? What do we have to see? What's going on?
I think we need. I think we will have new set of leadership with time. Everything has to change. So
Mm-hmm.
so far we have seen leaders. Sometimes I feel, are they truly deserve to be a leader to rule us, to rule the people?
Hmm.
Uneducated or not much educated, they don't have much. Um, what do you say? In terms of their activities or what they have achieved so far in life or what kind of risk they have taken.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to change all those things. They only know these kind of leaders have to be changed, and we'll have a new set of leaders, free. And I don't know what kind of leaders will they be, but definitely with DAO coming up, and
Mm-hmm.
which is very interesting, how the DAO will shape up in future.
Mm-hmm.
So so of course there will be new leaders. These leaders has to go now.
So, like a little bit into that, like, will these, to get into the more specifics, do you think these leaders will be something that we see people who built up, like, let's say, crypto, like, sort of like people who kind of made the corporates out of cryptos, or do you think we can see someone who are more independent, people who, like, as if the people choose? Where do you think that's going?
Uh, I truly do not know the answer to this, but how is it going to shape? But I think there are few towns in Switzerland. They are working on this DAO kind of society, and to they are experimenting it.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be some experiments, more experiments. So then we'll
Mm-hmm.
come to know how.
I, for one, can't wait to see how those experiments shape up because that
It's
means
it's
actually.
it's too early now as well, because
Mhm.
first the Web3 adoption, the understanding has to come. People do not understand Web3 yet properly, so
It's,
that they only think is price going up, price going down, and regulations. That's it. It's
mm,
confined to these things, but it is the true sense of Web3. Nobody understands well.
yeah.
So unless and until we don't understand the common people do not understand. So they'll not participate in this.
Yeah,
So when they participate, probably things will change, and then
because like I don't think yeah.
they'll take control over their
Mm,
lives. So we are
mhm.
like, now we are all surrendered.
Yeah,
You know,
because I don't.
when
Mm,
either we go to a religious leader completely surrendering, either we'll go to a celebrities completely surrendering, either we go to a politician completely surrendering. So nobody
mm,
wants to take control. They want somebody to do their life changes,
mhm,
change their life, somebody to give them satisfaction. So now you'll have to take control of your life,
mm,
your surroundings, your society, your house.
mhm. And I don't think a lot of people realize in terms of Web 3.0, because they don't realize that it's a sequence of numbers, right? So Web 1 has been like that text like for like the text repositories for on the internet. Web 2 being the regular site that everybody uses, being Facebook, Google, or whatever, yada yada, right?
Mm,
And Web 3, nobody, I don't think, not a lot of people have like kind of wrapped their heads around it. That Web 3 is a whole new, as if like growth or form or evolution of the internet. And
mhm.
like that's something to look forward to. And that it's like almost like people kind of wrap their heads, like there's some people who can't wrap their heads around 5G.
Mm, yeah,
So yeah, so this is like something like it's a whole new space that's going to take a while to understand.
no doubt. But I think, by 2025 we will see a good amount of adoption, learning, understanding, and even now, it's not so user experience in UI and UX needs to be more improved. And so then
Hmm.
when people start using it in day-to-day life, then probably you will see the adoption coming in.
Hmm.
People understand the strength of Web3, power
Hmm.
of Web3.
Yeah. So this was a pretty amazing session. Thank you again for coming with us, Mr. Sai Poorna. And well, to our viewers, I would like to say that do follow VOC. Please follow Mr. Sai Poorna. And as a succession for Web3 will make you infectious. Follow us for more, and bye bye.